Hi everybody, it's Bill Gilliland here with the last in our series on business success basics. So let's review one more time the elements to business success and what you have to have a handle on to be successful in your business. So first we talked about money mastery. Then we moved on to how to get control of your time, so time mastery. Then we talked about team, how to build a winning team. We tied it all together with building systems in all of those areas. So building systems for our cash flow management, for building systems to get our financial statements, to building systems to get control of our daily time, to building systems to get control of our profitability, to building systems on hiring the right team, on training the right people to get the education that they need. And finally, we're going to tie it all together with mindset and having the proper business mindset. So what happens when you get the right mindset? Well, let me tell you that I really started this backwards. I really should have talked to you first about proper mindset. But I tell you, a lot of people don't come to me and say, Bill, I have a crummy mindset. What they come to me with is say, hey, I don't have any cash flow, or I don't have enough time to get it all done, or I have a crummy team. That's what they come to me for. So I started with that. Now let's talk about the key thing. In order to get the proper team, in order to have the great cash flow, in order to have great systems, in order to find the time, you really need to have the proper mindset to begin with. So what happens when you get this wrong, when you don't have the proper mindset? Number one, you don't make as much money as you should or could. You end up being pushed for time, okay? And you have tons and tons of team issues. So, and the fourth thing that happens is when you run into a challenge, you don't overcome the challenge. Now, what happens when you get this right? When you get this right, everything works together. You have a well-oiled machine. You have positive cash flow. You have plenty of time. And really, you just end up with a successful business and a successful life. So I'm going to give you one concept of mindset that I think could be useful. Now, I can't cover everything that you got to get right in your mindset to be a proper business owner. There's been hundreds of thousands of books written on this. And they pretty much all say the same thing when you boil it down about mindset. So I'm going to give you one key formula that I think you'll find useful. And it's very simple. The first thing is be. Second thing is do. And the third thing is have. So the formula is be times do equals have. Now a lot of people look at this and say, great, it's an easy formula. You start with what you want to have in life, okay? Now some people always start with things, but it doesn't have to be things. It could just be more time, or it could be a better relationship. It could be anything like that. What do you want to have? Well, great. What do you have to do to have the things you want to think? But the most important thing is, who do you need to be to have the things that you want in life? So now, here's an interesting thing about this. This is a mathematical formula. What's the mathematical formula when you multiply something times 0? You get 0 out the back end. So if you want to have something, and let's say that what you want to have is a better physique. So you want to lose, let's just pick 10 pounds. Most of us could lose a few pounds. Let's take 10 pounds. Okay? So I want to lose 10 pounds. That's what I want to have. Well, what do I have to do? Well, probably I have to exercise more and eat better or eat less. Those are the two things that you have to do. Now, what do you have to be, or who do you have to become to lose that weight and keep it off? Well, you have to become that person who weighs 10 pounds less, because, I mean, how many of you know somebody out there who have lost 10 pounds but gained it right back? That's because they could never get it in their head that they were actually that person. Okay? So it works the same in business. But if we do all that, and so the B would be 0, then we'll go right back to the way we were. Now, on the other hand, if we sit around and just think about losing weight and we still keep the same habits, so we don't do anything differently, then we're not going to lose the weight either, because then the do would be 0. So this is a valuable thing, a valuable formula for life for getting your mindset right. Everything works this way. And what I would suggest is that you focus on, now, so how do you, look at the root word be. Be is what? It's the root word of become. So who do you want to become at the end of the day? Who do you need to become to have the things that you want in your business and in your life? So a lot of this comes down to education, habits, morning rituals, all the kind of things to get your mindset correct so that you can go out and do the things you need to do. So we start with be. A lot of that will be education. Do is the action piece. And then the have is the outcome that you want to have. So this is just one formula that you can use in your business and in your life to begin that. So if you want to have success, define what success means for you. For some people that may be a nicer car, or it could be a better relationship. Whatever success is, define it. And then work backwards to know what you need to do and who you need to become from there. So let me tell you a story about one of my clients. And Eric is an excavator. He does a great job. 3 years ago, his business was doing about $400,000 in sales, and he was pretty much breaking even. He wasn't losing money, he wasn't making money. Now, we sat down and set some goals. What do you want to have? Well, we realized he wanted to have a $2 million business. Okay? And we sat down. The big thing is why. Why did he want to have that $2 million business? Well, he realized that he needed to make a certain amount of money. He wanted to employ more people. He wanted to help the community more. He wanted to be known as the quality excavator in his marketplace. And in other words, he wanted to have a successful business and a successful life. He also had other interest in travel and in some investment properties. So in a short 3 years, we've been able to go to $2.2 million and make over $275,000 in profit. And a lot of it started with understanding who he needed to become as the leader of the business. And this started with education, with study, with meditation, with prayer, all the kind of things that he knew he was going to have to become to be it. Then he looked at all the things he was going to have to do. What kind of, great, if he needed education, where was he going to go to get it? Was he going to invest the time he needed every week? He had to become a better salesperson. He had to become a better hiring person. All those kind of things came into place, but it all started in his head. So what I'd like for you to do now in this final episode is tell us, what have you gotten out of today, and maybe what have you gotten out of the whole series? What have you found most useful out of the series? Now, I guess it's decision time. We've talked on the other videos about what you need to do if you need help implementing any of the success principles that we've talked about here. And what you need to do is the same. You need to go ahead and click on the thing that says have a 10-minute chat with Bill. Or you can call us, 828-348-1787, or you can just email me, williamgilliland@actioncoach.com, and we'll set up a short 10-minute chat. Now, what's going to happen in that 10-minute chat is we're going to look at what's possible for your business. And then we're going to look at where your current situation is. And we're going to look at the challenges and the opportunities and the threats and all the things between the two. We're going to come up with a few strategies that are going to determine how we might move forward. And what we'll determine at the end of that 10-minute chat is whether there's a fit between where you want to go and what we do to help people do that. If it's not a fit, we're going to tell you that right away. And we're going to tell you where you can go to get more help. If it is a fit, what we're going to do is set up a longer session. We call it a strategy session, in which we're going to dig in depth into your business, and we're going to come up with a mini plan to help you get from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. So what I'd like for you to do now is go ahead and click on that, set up that 10-minute chat with me, and let's find out what's possible for you in your business. I really, really look forward to chatting with you soon.